Welcome to the Take a Breather podcast with Stacy Eric and Eric Almeida. This is another episode of our Tapping Thursday series where we're going to take you through a tapping exercise so that you can get experience with a sampling of EFT and how it can help for you. As always, please subscribe to us on your podcast apps. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Subscribe to us and like and share on YouTube as well. And for specific instructions on how to tap, please go to episode 2 of our podcast where we go into details of all of the points and how the sequence works. As our weekly disclaimer, this is not meant to diagnose or treat any particular issues. If you do have a strong reaction while listening to this particular podcast episode, please pause the recording and keep tapping until you calm down, and feel free to tap faster as needed as well. It helps you calm down as well. The goal of this is to tap on the general feeling that we will be describing today. It's geared towards coping with our topic for this week, but not for deep healing. If any memories or thoughts come up as you're doing this particular episode, definitely write them down. You can tap on them on your own, or you can work with a practitioner like myself or Stacy if you want to do that deep work with someone else. And we are offering a discount off of your first session with either one of us using the coupon code BREATHER on either one of our websites, which you can see in the show notes. So this week's topic, we're going to be tapping on the fear of public speaking, something that most of us have certainly been plagued with. And I have drawn the short straw, and I will be the client for this particular episode. So Stacy, take it away as the practitioner.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Yeah, in fact, fear of public speaking is what got me directly involved in EFT in the first place. It was the desire to not be filled with fear and anxiety when having to talk in front of a group that inspired me to learn about EFT. So thank you, Eric, for being the client today.
For sure.
And so we're going to start by jumping right into setting the intention of lessening our anxiety around the fear of public speaking. So for you, Eric, in this moment, when you picture yourself talking in front of a large group of people, having the spotlight on you, how would you rate the intensity of the negative emotion around that? 0 being it doesn't bother you one little bit to be up there, and 10 being, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm going to pass out.
It's still surprisingly strong, considering how much talking we've been doing. But yeah, the thought of being on a stage is very different compared to doing it remote.
Yes.
I would say it's a solid 5.
Okay. So for folks listening, you can write down your own number and keep track of keep track of those numbers after we finish tapping for a couple of rounds. So we're going to start with the karate chop point on the side of the hand below the pinky, the meaty part of the hand, tapping there. Even though I am afraid of public speaking.
Even though I am afraid of public speaking.
I would like to utterly and profoundly love and accept myself.
I would like to utterly and profoundly love and accept myself.
Even though the thought of public speaking fills me with fear.
Even though the thought of public speaking fills me with fear.
I would like to utterly and profoundly love and accept myself.
I would like to utterly and profoundly love and accept myself.
Even though I'm scared, I'm going to make a fool of myself.
Even though I am scared, I'm going to make a fool of myself.
I would like to utterly and profoundly love and accept myself.
I would like to utterly and profoundly love and accept myself.
Okay, breathe. Top of the head at the hairline part. Public speaking fills me with stress and anxiety.
Public speaking fills me with stress and anxiety.
Inside corner of the eyebrow. I am petrified even thinking about it.
I am petrified even thinking about it.
Side of the eye. I am always afraid I'll look like an idiot.
I am always afraid I'll look like an idiot.
Under the eye, on the ridge, I feel sick to my stomach.
I feel sick to my stomach.
Under the nose, above the upper lip, I'm going to fail at my presentation.
I'm going to fail at my presentation.
The crease of the chin, I feel overwhelmed.
I feel overwhelmed.
The U of the collarbone, my heart is beating so fast.
My heart is beating so fast.
Under the arm, on the rib cage, there are so many people.
There are so many people.
Inside of the wrist, everyone is judging me.
Everyone is judging me.
Side of the hand. I am so bad at this.
I am so bad at this.
Okay, another round, top of the head. Public speaking fills me with stress and anxiety.
Public speaking fills me with stress and anxiety.
Inside of the eyebrow. I am petrified even thinking about speaking.
I'm petrified even thinking about speaking.
Side of the eye. I'm always afraid I'll look like a fool.
I'm always afraid I'll look like a fool.
Under the eye. I feel sick to my stomach.
I feel sick to my stomach.
Under the nose. I'm going to fail at my presentation.
I'm going to fail at my presentation.
Crease of the chin. I feel overwhelmed.
I feel overwhelmed.
View of the collarbone. My heart is beating so fast.
My heart is beating so fast.
Under the arm on the rib cage. There are so many people.
There are so many people.
Inside of the wrist. And they are all judging me.
And they are all judging me.
Side of the hand. I am so bad at this.
I am so bad at this.
Okay, pause there. Take a nice deep breath. Breathing in cleansing air, breathing out anything else willing to be released on the out breath. Eyes closed. Let the energy move. And open your eyes whenever you're ready.
That bothers me more than I thought it would.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to share that came up for you?
A lot of physical responses that I was surprised by. I got cold.
Huh.
Like my hands are cold. My body got cold. And the second round, when we were tapping around the eye, I could feel tears wanting to come, which is crazy. I've worked on this a lot. There's still stuff there. It's so interesting.
It is interesting. I know we're tapping on general concepts for the Tapping Thursdays, but it's amazing how when we think, oh, it's just general. It's going to be tapping in general around the whole issue. It's so often it just a layer, a very specific layer will pop up out of the general when we tap and bring itself to our attention. And it's just priceless when those little bits come up, really.
I think the big thing for me in this moment is there's part of me that is still afraid that my body will betray me. That like that like my body will lose control, that I'll lose control of my body. I think that's the biggest thing.
That makes total sense. Since, in fact, so often there is such a strong physical stress response around public speaking. The nausea, sweaty palms, and going through all the things I experience still when I have to talk about it.
The adrenaline shakes and things like that. Oh,
yes. And you're trying to breathe and you feel constricted and try not to talk too fast. And
for sure.
Yeah. So would you like to do another? Oh, actually, I'm just trying to check in on the number that you're feeling right now as far as the intensity level. And again, for folks at home, it may be the same, it may be less, it may be more, especially if something specific comes up.
Maybe my gut's saying a 4.
Okay. Well, that's nice. You're seeing some movement downward. That's great. Okay.
Yeah, I can feel my energy's on the surface. I can feel it a lot more.
Yeah. That's a good opportunity to tap then. Excellent.
Let's do it.
And for people at home who, Eric had some specific things come up for him, anything specific that came up for you, to write it down and set the intention that for these next couple of rounds of tapping, you're tapping on your own specific take on how the thought of public speaking affects you and the ways in which it makes you anxious. And the borrowed benefits, we each can tap on what we want to tap on, even though you'll be saying what I say, you'll be copying along with me and Eric, but your body will still respond to the intention you set in healing your own personal issue around fear of public speaking. Okay. Side of the hand. Even though I am still afraid of public speaking after all the work I've done.
I'm still afraid of public speaking after all the work that I have done.
I would like to completely and profoundly love and accept myself.
I would like to completely and profoundly love and accept myself.
Even though I still have a strong physical reaction to public speaking.
Even though I still have a strong physical reaction to public speaking.
I would like to utterly and profoundly love and accept myself.
I would like to utterly and profoundly love and accept myself.
Even though public speaking still makes me anxious.
Even though public speaking still makes me anxious.
I would like to profoundly and utterly love and accept myself.
I would like to profoundly and utterly love and accept myself.
Okay, top of the head. I've worked on this so much and it still bothers me.
I worked on this so much and it still bothers me.
Inside of the eye. I'm still anxious and kind of sad that it still bothers me to public speak.
I'm still anxious and kind of sad that it still bothers me to public speak.
Side of the eye. I still have a strong physical reaction when I think of public speaking.
I still have a strong physical reaction when I think about public speaking.
My hands get cold. My body gets cold.
My hands get cold. My body gets cold.
Under the nose, I could even feel some tears starting to come.
I can even feel some tears starting to come.
I'm pretty anxious about my body's responses to public speaking.
I'm pretty anxious about my body's responses to public speaking.
Collarbone. I'm still afraid my body will betray me in the moment.
I'm still afraid my body will betray me in the moment.
Under the arm. I'm afraid I'll lose control of my body's responses and screw up.
I'm afraid I will lose control of my body's responses and screw up.
Inside of the wrist. I'm not sure I can trust my body in the moment when I'm public speaking.
I'm not sure that I can trust my body in the moment when I'm public speaking.
Side of the hand. So I'm still afraid to speak in public.
So I'm still afraid to speak in public.
Top of the head. My body may betray me at any moment.
My body may betray me at any moment.
Inside of the eye. And it'll make me screw up my presentation.
And it will make me screw up my presentation.
Side of the eye. No matter how much work I do, my body can still betray me.
No matter how much work I do, my body can still betray me.
Under the eye. I'm not sure I can trust my body with public speaking.
I'm not sure I can trust my body with public speaking.
Under the nose. My body still needs more healing around public speaking.
My body still needs more healing with public speaking.
I wonder if I can heal my body.
I wonder if I can heal my body.
Collarbone. I would like to give my body what it needs to heal this.
I would like to give my body what it needs to heal this.
Under the arm. I would like to know what my body needs for this to heal.
I would like to know what my body needs for this to heal.
Inside of the wrist. I want to be able to trust my body with public speaking.
I want to be able to trust my body with public speaking.
Side of the hand. I'm open to learning what my body needs to heal this issue.
I'm open to learning what my body needs to heal from this issue.
Okay, deep breath. Breathing in the cleansing air, breathing out anything willing to be released on the out breath. Anyone at home, if you're feeling more anxious, more worried, then keep on tapping. Keep tapping through the rest of this episode and even afterwards. If you're feeling a lot of energy moving, just keep tapping and let it move. go even faster through the points if you're having a lot of very strong emotional responses to this issue. The more you tap, the sooner your body will be able to disperse that difficult energy. So Eric, would you like to share if you feel comfortable, if you want to?
Yeah, you follow the thread dead right. I have a lot of fear of my body, and public speaking just triggers it. And so there is that. It's, you know, being worried that it's going to betray me with, with illness or with the shakes or with nausea, having a digestive condition that gets triggered with anxiety that's compounded on top of all of that. So it's even just, the noticing the things in my body, just the beginnings of the ravages of aging and things like that. And so it's like noticing certain things that are like, my knee just keeps bothering me. And it's like, I only have two of them. I would like them both to work. So yeah. So the public speaking is just a trigger for just being scared of my body in a weird way. So
again, interesting how the generalized tapping is a gateway to revealing so many details of what our body needs from us, and what not just our body, but our hearts and minds. And in fact, you just uncovered a whole topic I'd like to address sometime on our podcast with something I hadn't thought of at all up until you said it, was the disconnect from mind and body. That is, the point of EFT so much is about reuniting the communication between mind and body. And that, in fact, so much of our anxiety and fear, especially in triggering moments, is stemmed on not knowing how to help our body in the moment. Like, our body is like operating on its own system, doing its own thing. We have no connection to it, no idea what to do for it, no idea how to control it, and can't control it. And we end up with the panic attacks, and that lack of knowing just jacks up the anxiety and stress even more.
For sure.
And
yeah.
The more we learn how to connect to our body and know what it's responding to, and then how to nourish it in that moment, like, that's just another amazing way to heal the triggers in the first place.
And it was really interesting. One of the tapping points you flat out just said, being open to hearing what my body has to say. And the really funny part was that I did get an answer. And that was my mind, like, immediately popped into my head, was slow down. And that, which is true. I do tend to like barrel roll into things in succession and not take time between appointments or events or whatever I'm doing to just to breathe and to take a moment.
Yeah.
And so I think that was kind of my body's way of being like, slow the hell down. You're going too fast. So it's interesting. Sometimes you just have to ask the question.
Yes. And we often don't think to do that. We don't think our body is going to respond. We don't trust our body to answer. We don't think we're going to understand what our body has to say, or that our body will be forthcoming in information. And in fact, so often, and once you start asking, the body is actually great at giving more responses, because it does give it, when we ignore our body for long enough, in my own experience, it stops talking to me. Like, if I ignore my body completely, it's like, fine, I won't even bother telling you what I need, because you're clearly not listening. But you start listening, and it jumps in and says, oh yeah, do this, do this, do this. And it always knows what to do to help nourish the system.
No, totally.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much for being the client today.
Thank you.
And thank you for everyone who listened today. Again, if you have, keep tapping if you're having those moments. If you're interested, things came up for you that you'd like to work on some more, please feel free to reach out to Eric or myself. We have the coupon code BREATHER for discount off your first session, and we will see you next week.